Neil here, coming back at you with the new and revised custom furnace videos. I hope that you had the chance to see the video that I just posted and kind of understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to go into that. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check that one out. This is going to be better. That's all I can say. You're going to learn more. It's going to be better, and we're going to actually make a furnace that is all our own. So without further ado, let's jump into our main modding class. Let's just jump into our project. You'll see that I'm missing pretty much everything that I had for the old furnace, but that's okay because we are going to get to that right now. Let's do our, we're going to need to create our blocks. So public, still can't spell public, nothing's changed there. Public, static, block, and this will be a block. And you know what, last time I did an E11, I actually want this to be an actual custom furnace. I have a bit of a complex if I'm just building a block and naming it after myself. So we're going to call this an alabaster oven. I don't know whether or not alabaster would actually work as you know, as an oven or not. Wife, would alabaster work for an oven? She's giving me the IDK. You can cook with an oven? Well, I hope you can, otherwise I'd be fucking starving to death. Anyways, we're gonna pretend because it's fucking Minecraft. What do I care? Of course you can cook with an alabaster oven. You crazy? So, we've created our two blocks. The reason that we're creating two blocks is when you have an oven, there's the inactive state, the one where it's not cooking, and then the active state where it is cooking. And what happens is you have a furnace, an oven, isn't cooking, you load it up with fuel, you load it up with something to cook, and then boom, all of a sudden the blocks swap out for the active one. It does its cooking. Once it's done, swaps them back out again. So we actually have to create both of those blocks. We're going to come down here and initialize those now, and because I like to comment everything, I'm going to comment that for machines, and we're going to say block alabaster oven idle is equal to new alabaster oven. Beautiful. False. And the reason that I'm setting this as false is I'm saying we're going to pass along these values, right? These Boolean values. Boolean is true or false, right? True or false. So really what I'm doing is I'm passing along a value that's going to say false. We're going to have a variable that says is active, and we'll get to that in a second. The is active variable is going to be, is it active? False. It's not active, so it's going to be the idle block. We're going to set the block name to alabaster oven idle. And what else do we want to do with this? What else do we need to do? We need to set our creative tab. Set creative tab. Is it going to let me do this? Neocraft tab. You know, I talk about having a complex, and I'm making a mod named after me. Ooh. Nice recovery there with your alabaster oven, still naming the mod after yourself. Smart guy. So now we're initializing the other block, alabaster oven. We're going to have the same class, except this time we're going to pass along true because it's true. Yes, this block is active. It is cooking. It is doing its thing. Don't need a space for that. And actually, you know what? We want to set light level 0.625 float. I believe that's what we did last time. Does it like it? It likes it, but it didn't like the fact that I spelled oven instead of oven. Sweet. So we need to do this block class. So we're going to mouse over. We're going to create this block class. We're going to do like we've done with our other blocks. We're going to put it in our blocks class. We're going to hit finish. Alabaster oven. Now what this is going to do is, because this is a block, but it's also going to have a container associated with it, we're going to put extends block container. Like so, we're going to import that. It's going to say, hey, we have some other things that we need in there. We're going to add our constructor. And yeah, we don't need this stuff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We are going to say material dot iron. We want that to be iron. Now there is something that we need here, and that is we need to bring in that Boolean. Is it true or is it false? So we are going to say right here Boolean, and we are going to name that is active. Is active, like so. What else does it want from us? Oh, we have some unimplemented methods. We'll get to those. We'll get to those. Let's take out this to do. The next thing that we need to do, oh, you know what? We need to create another variable. And we actually want to change this from protected to public. Let's do that now. We need to create, we're passing along this true or false, this Boolean expression on whether or not the block is actually running or if it's not running. And what we need to do is we need to put that data somewhere, right? And so we're just going to name this is active, and because this is final, this means that it can never be changed again, right? However, we can change it in our constructor, so we can say this dot is active is equal to is active. And you're like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it actually does, right? Because this is our variable that we've declared, and you see that it matches up these two. And then we have this right here matches what we brought over from here, right? So this is brought over, false is brought over here to our, that's not there, that's not there, where is it? Our alabaster oven, it's brought over to here, right? This false, and what we're essentially saying is, hey, I want to put a value into this is active variable, and I'm going to make it whatever is brought over. Does that make sense? You follow me? These two correspond. These two correspond. We need to register these blocks, or otherwise nothing's going to happen. I am going to save this. I know you got an error. Deal with it. Deal with it. We're going to register these blocks. So just like we did up above, I want to note it. We're going to say game registry dot register block. Thinking about it, block idle. And this is going to be more or less like an unlocalized name. Alabaster oven idle. Idle. I can spell. You guys know I can't spell. You've been watching these. If you're watching these videos, you know that I can't spell, and you're just sitting there shaking your head. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to spell. He spells like a fourth grader. Doesn't matter how much college you have. He spelled terrible. Terrible. We did idle. Let's do active. Alabaster oven. Active. Sweet. Close that up with our semicolon so it likes it. We're going to save that bad boy. Let's head back over to our oven here. So we have some unimplemented methods. I'm going to ignore those for right now. Because really what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, you need a tile entity. Right? And we're not even remotely close to doing a tile entity. So you know what? Yeah, let's add that. So that way we can at least say this without errors. We're going to move that down to the bottom because we don't really care about it right now. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to set textures for this block. Now I already have some of the other textures, but we're going to actually go through, create some new textures here, some custom textures. So if you remember what we had our vanilla items. We're going to go into blocks, and we're going to look for the furnace, somewhere, furnace top, side, front. So we have the front on and the front off. Let's go ahead and open with paint.net like so. So we know what the top is going to look like. We know what the bottom is going to look like. What should we make this alabaster? We should probably make it a little bit lighter, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select the areas around these two openings, and I'm going to do that by using the selection tool, and I'm going to hold down Control whenever I want to add to it. So I'm going to take that down to about right there, and then I'm going to take this down here, and then I'm going to do the same right here, right there. What am I doing here? You know what? I need to actually come down to here, and then I'm going to take these two all the way down, and we're going to take this across the top, and then we're going to grab that one, and we're going to grab that one. And since this is alabaster, alabaster's white, right, honey? You got a computer on your lap. Can you Google it? Run alabaster through the Googleizer and tell me what color it is. While you're doing that, I'm just going to make it white anyways. Hue, hue, hue. Oh, that's dark. We don't want dark. We want light. Let's make it lighter. Okay, so white works. I knew I was right. Why do you doubt me like that? Gosh, Jill. Ah, my wife, bless her. Let's open up, back down to the furnaces. Let's do the front on, and let's see if we can replicate this. So we did we did the top like so, and then we kind of came down 3 all the way down to here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Then we did this right here, so we'll do the same over here. Down to there, and then we did these right here. And did we do all 3 of those across the middle? We did. We did. We did all 3 of those across the middle, and then it looks like we just did this one here and this one here. So adjustments, hue, saturation. Thankfully, our lightness is remembered, so we'll just hit OK on that. So there we've got that one. And let's I don't want to actually save over my textures, so let's actually head into here, into Neocraft source, Neocraft assets, Neocraft textures, blocks, and we're going to say that this is alabaster front, alabaster oven front on. Is this an on one? Yes, this is an on one. Boom, like so. Okay. And this one is going to be save as, and we got to navigate through all of that again, and again, and again, and again, and again, all the way back in the blocks. Alabaster front. This one is the off one, right? So I have problems apparently with my short-term memory. So now, a couple more. We're going to jump back out, vanilla items, blocks. And let's find our furnace. Fuck, Jim. Furnace side. Furnace top. So the top is different. You know what? We're just going to do the top, and we're going to use this as our side. And this is easy, right? Because we're just going to grab this, and we're going to do our adjustments. 43, a little bit lighter. Save as. And we're going to put that back down. We're going to bury it in this folder, down where it belongs. And this is going to be alabaster oven side. I know it's the top. We're going to use it as the side. Savvy. Right there. Alright, let's get back in. Let's do some textures. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing that we have to do is declare a variable. So we're going to say at side only. We only want this to run on client side, and we are going to say private icon. Case is very, very, very important in Java, and we are going to say icon front. Probably already looking a lot like the code that we did last time. Let's do some imports. You can do Control-Shift-O for your imports. If you import like that, always make sure that you got something that relates to Minecraft or FML or Minecraft Forge. This isn't what you think it is. Your life is great. If you use that flippantly, you're a moron. Don't say that. Life's great. The sun comes up, you got a reason to smile. Check those. If you have ones that say like Jorbus or anything like that, you made a boo-boo. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So icons, right, the rendering of icons, textures, stuff like that, we all want that to occur on the client side. So that's why we're specifying side.client. First method, public void register block icons. It's important that you're doing register block icons because this is a block. If it was an item, you just do register icons. In this case, do register block icons. And we're going to reference icon register, and we're going to call this icon register because it's easy and it's simple. I'm going to make that a method out like so. Let's import icon register again. Control-Shift-O. Icon register. Oh, it's in Minecraft. We're good. We're going to say this dot block icon. You see it right there. Boom. Is going to equal icon register icon, and we are going to say neocraft or whatever yours is dot mod ID. You'll see it's the first one up there. Dot mod ID plus quotes colon plus alabaster oven side. Case is important. And then this dot icon front, the one that we declared up above, is really going to kind of follow the same thing. Icon register dot register icon neocraft dot mod ID. This one's a little bit different, right? Because we have, this is the front. And the front of these could either be this or this. And so we're going to use this isActive variable. So if it passes along and says, hey, this was true, right? What we want this to look like is this. We're going to put in our quote. We're going to say plus this dot is active. So if it is active, we are going to say that the icon is the alabaster oven front on. If it's not, I feel like I have one too many. No, we're good here. Okay, we're good here. If it's not, it's going to be alabaster. So if it's not active, alabaster oven front off. Boom, like so. Any errors? Nope, we're good. So this actually takes care of the block as it's rendered. So you place the block, boom, it's got a front that will change, and then the sides are all the same, right? I'm going to do a little bit of studying, and I may come back and show you how to do a top versus the sides, like the vanilla furnace. You know what? I digress. Let's just go look at the vanilla furnace code. So we can come down to reference libraries and then forge source, and I'm guessing it's going to be under here. Block furnace. So it's under net.minecraft.block block furnace. Let's open this up. So it looks like we've declared two of those, and we've named them one thing, one another. Get item dropped, on block added. This will look familiar later. Get icon. So here is that. You know what? Are you feeling it? Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's open up. Let's go back to our. Sorry, my cat's trying to climb through the blinds. There's no kikis out there for you to kill. Go on. What are we doing? Modding, vanilla items, blocks. Let's go back to the furnace and let's get that furnace. I put a top on there, right? So let's do this because we're going to need to grab both of those. We want a furnace side, and this was the top. So let's do this. Let's go in and save this as icon top, like so. This one, we're going to gather just the middle of this, and we're going to do our adjustments. The hue and saturation is going to be lightened up a little bit. Let's go save this. We got to bury it back down again. I know that you guys have been having some trouble with textures. Sometimes it can be a complete pain in the butt. We're going to make this side there. Don't hesitate to reach out to me on Skype or via email. You can add me on Skype by going to neilgaming@gmail.com, or you can add me on Skype the same way. I accept all invites to Skype. Yeah, if you need help with textures, anything else, give me a shout. So really what we're seeing here is we've done this, right? We've done our side code. We've done our conditional statement that, hey, we want this to be, if this dot is active, right, furnace front on, or off if it's not active. Now this last one is something different. This is icon.top. I bet you a buffalo nickel. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our alabaster oven. We're going to create another one of these, and I'm going to say at side only. side dot client private icon, and we are going to say icon top. And I know that when you look at this, you're like, it has these weird fields. Remember that this is a variable. Variables can be anything, right? Your variable could be dog shit, and as long as you reference it properly later on in your code as dog shit, it doesn't matter. It's a container, it's a box. It's like taking your leftovers in an empty butter container. It doesn't matter, right? As long as the container is the same each and every time, it's cool. So this one, you'll see here, the N, right? 935N is right down here. 935N. Following me? That's the top. And I bet you the O is going to be that icon front, because it goes through all this front stuff. Whoa, whoa. Now this is interesting, because this is going to be a lot different than what I had. So we're going to kind of roll with this, and I'll do a little bit of research on this. But what we are going to do is essentially say is that this dot icon top is going to equal icon register dot register icon, and it is going to be neocraft dot mod ID plus this guy, right? Plus alabaster oven top. Semicolon to close that up. I know I kind of got off track. I said I was going to go research it later, and I realized that we haven't even covered that part yet, so I will get to that. Meow. Right, meow. And that will actually conclude this episode, because we're clocking in at 27 minutes, and I kind of wanted to finish around the 30-minute mark. So we need to do our get icon method. And what that get icon method is, and again, this is something that we only want to render on the client side, so we'll do side client, and it is going to be public. No void. No void. Icon. Get icon. And it is going to be inside its metadata. And you know what I want to do is, just for thoughts, I'm going to look at this bad boy real fast. Get icon. Still only 2 of those. I am unsure. So, anyways, we'll come back to that later. Return metadata, if that is equal to 0, and side is equal to 3. So really, what is this saying, right? If side is equal to 3, and if a block has 6 sides, right? If I remember correctly, 0 is the top, 1 is the bottom, and then 2 is the left side, 3 is the front, 4 is the right side, 5 is the back. So really what we're saying is, if this is that, we're going to say this dot icon front is what's going to be there, else side is going to be equal to metadata, or else if side is equal to metadata, then this, oh hi John, John's a good buddy of mine, this dot icon front, this dot block icon like so. It doesn't like this. I did something wrong. Oh, well, of course it does. Because you put that on the outside of that, goofy boy. Alright, so let's save this. We are going to run this. And let's see if we actually have our top and our side and our front. Because that would be cool if we did. Super cool. If not, we'll come back at the beginning of the next episode and fix it. Look at that, we've got a side, and our top is a side. Well, that's weird. That's okay, though. That's okay. How does it look? What am I doing? I'm in the wrong mode. Over here, into here, and alabaster oven. We didn't add it in any language. Yeah, it looks like it's putting that side on the top, and of course it's only pointing one direction. We know that, and I mean one direction is in, like, you know, north, not a shitty British boy band. I may have offended some people by saying that. I don't care. Don't come back. Don't ever watch my videos again. That's what I say. I'll look into this. We'll get this tuned up and get that fixed. So that way we have a proper top icon. Like this furnace. Side, top. Oh, you know what we should do, just to check. You know what the top looks like. What does the bottom look like? The bottom looks like the front. Well, that's weird. And what does this look like? I bet you this is great. Those goofy Minecraft programmers. And the bottom is the top. Well, I'll get that worked out. Anyways, that concludes this episode. Come on back and we're going to work on our default direction next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you then.